Heyo, Bladman here. Deuces. I was gonna use this cool Fandango device that is like a streamlined, it's like the thing they use for movies where they like move along with the actors and whatnot. So I have one, but it's not that, it's for this. So you can like, oh, see, bam. And then it'll like move and track with you and whatnot, except I don't know how to use it. And the instruction manual has been long since been lost. So I need to do some research and figure out what the buttons mean and how to use it properly. I just realized that right now. Anyhow, today I wanted to talk about this concept where, I think it's applicable to you working in a business or you owning a business. To overly simplify, the concept of it is freedom, right? And there's freedom and trust, and then there is fear and blah. I can't remember the other one, but this is horrible. I just looked at it like 10 seconds ago too. What I realized myself is that, maybe more than 10 seconds ago, but anyways, you get the idea. What I realized myself is that working at many places, you get some people, some employers, some bosses, not even the employers, but some bosses who get into this idea of like, okay, do exactly what I say and nothing else. Like, this is what I tell you to do nothing else, that's it. And okay, that's fine. Except that is problematic because unless you have a bunch of total nincompoops who don't know what the heck they're doing and they need specific instructions, what'll happen is they'll just sit there and they'll be like, okay, cool. Now what do we do? Now what do we do? Like, all right, good. I did that. Now what? Now what? And it's wasted time. And you're just like sitting there like, all right, boss. So I did this and what have you. Or alternatively, it's like, oh, do all this and they expect it done in like no time. And you're like, dude, that like, what am I supposed to? Hold on for a second. Hey. So over there's another dog over there. And my dogs get into it sometimes. So that's fun. Anyways, I have to call them away sometimes. It's very annoying. So that's one element of it, is that, hey, either way, that's not the right way to do it, because it's based basically on fear. If you tell someone, hey, I want you to do this thing, and if you don't do it, then you'll get fired, that's a fear-based mentality. I think, in general, people should be focused on freedom and trust, where you're hired to do a thing, and it could be everything from like a busboy to running a corporation, where it's like, hey, this is what we need, can you do it? Okay, do it. And there's other people I've heard talk about that, where they hire people and they run into this issue where it's like, the person they hired is like, okay, so what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And it's like, dude, I hired you to do a thing. Just do it. So simply put, there's this ongoing mentality that I think is being clued into and ginned into by public school and whatnot, where it's like, hey, these are my list of objectives, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 25, all the way. And this is what I do. And that's fine, except it's kind of problematic because that's not how life works. So I think it's better for generally a corporation, if you hire a person, you're like, look, this is what we're trying to do. Can you contribute to that? And then like pushing them and rewarding them for production of the company. Like if their production is helping improve the company, they should be rewarded accordingly. Because alternatively, what do you have? You have, you pay someone hourly, and this is kind of the issue, is like paying someone an hourly wage versus based on production is, well, okay, so hourly is like, cool. So if I work 8 hours and I don't do anything, as long as I hide it and make it seem like I did something, you'll pay me. Great. Then I have a concerted effort, and like I have a reason to not produce anything, but make it seem like I produce something. Which is counterintuitive, because if you're a company trying to produce products, then that's not a good way to go. Reversely, if me and everyone else involved has some, even a small vested interest in the value of the company as a whole and the production and yada, 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 then they're going to push other people. And they have a reason to like, hey, dude, don't be sick. Like, come in. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, let's produce more. Let's see if we can push it. Let's see if we can do better than we did last week. Because I would argue that most people who do this type of production stuff, that's what they want. That's what they want. Okay? They want a reason to stick around. They're making money. Sure, they like making money. We all like making money. That's fine. But they also want a reason to like give a crap about the company. And then there's this other issue where there are laws in place for general work, and you get companies who like to like fudge the lines. So, oh, okay, lunch has to be at 5 hours, and they're like, oh, cool, so we'll do 5 hours plus 15 minutes. Well, normally that would be a penalty, but if nobody reports it and nobody knows, then they don't suffer the penalty. And then if you want to point it out to them, they're like, oh, well, are you trying to make trouble? Or, oh, the gate's over there, you can just quit. This is part of the issue. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of unions, but it's kind of like, okay, hold on. So you're not wanting to follow the laws? Like, it's so important that you can't do lunch a little early so that you don't suffer that. You have to like produce one more. That's kind of messed up and effed up. And then if your concept of employees is like, hey, there's plenty of you available, just go out the door if you don't like it, that's messed up. So I feel like anybody who's running a business should have this concept of like, I want passionate people who care about what I'm doing. And I frankly think that that's true about anything that you're doing. If you're making Doritos, if you're laying bricks, if you're doing sidewalk stuff, if you're designing the new Amazon website, whatever it is, you want to hire people who are passionate about what it is that you're doing. And the reason is because they're going to get better products. They're going to get better products. Because the alternative is you're going to get somebody who just cares about how much do I get paid for 8 hours of work, yada, 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 and they're just going to go through it. And then you'll fire them and then hire somebody else who's going to have the same viewpoint. Alternatively, it's better for you and for them to hire people who actually care. Who actually care. So the ultimate thing is freedom. Freedom. Where you tell people, hey, this is what I want. Can you do it? And then you let them try to do it. And fear, where you tell people, this is what I want, and if you don't do it, you're fired. I think that it's better to go with freedom. I think history has proved this, that yes, you can get results. You can get results with fear. You totally can. Lots and lots of things have been built with fear. But interestingly enough, I bet you that you're going to get it done faster, cheaper, and better if you do it with freedom. So that's it for today. Yeah, please like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. Let me know if you're like, hey, dude, you need to have the thing because it's too weird with you moving around all over the place. And yeah, I know it's weird that sometimes I'm like doing this stuff and then sometimes it's like there. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out what's perfect. I also don't want to bore the crap out of you and like, oh, here's my home and you're like, what the heck? I don't care. Just talk about what we got to talk about. Anyways, so feel free to give me your comments and your suggestions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, deuces, 5 men out. Bye.